Welcome to Hangman Tarot. We're going to get started here with our celebrity tarot card reading with Andrew Tate. I know, promised myself I would not do Andrew Tate, but I was thinking about it this morning. Actually, I was like, I should probably do that. It is still this morning. It's 8. It's 8 in the morning. It's 8 in the morning. It's too early for this Andrew Tate shit. Either way, either or, please stay tuned for the rest of the information on Hangman Tarot at the end of this reading. We are going to get into this wonderful imprinting trillionaire, Andrew Tate, known for all of the controversy as far as kind of almost just being one of those people who, I don't know if he is just like not into chicks or into chicks. I have no clue, but we're going to get into this. So we're going to find out all that we can about Andrew Tate. And I am going to get into a current energy for him also, but we're going to go over a little bit of who this man is, what he has going on. Again, please hit subscribe while you're waiting for me to get into the card shuffle and get into all of this information. So astrology-wise, let's go over that first. And oh my God, it tells me so many things. His birth chart does. Sunday, December 14th, 1986. Some people say that the time is unknown. Some people say it's like 12:26 or 12 o'clock. He was born in Chicago, Illinois. I've also been told Washington, so I'm not quite sure on those two. His sun sign is a Sagittarius. He is a Gemini. His birth path is a 5. Andrew Tate is a 6'3". So can you imagine being in person with this misogynist? Yeah, I said it. He is the epitome of that. Okay, so he was born Emery Andrew. He has a beautiful name, Emery Andrew Tate III. He's an American-British cruiserweight kickboxer. So this guy's a world champion martial artist. He's a kickboxer. He's a businessman. He's a sports commentator. He's a vlogger. I mean, he has the credentials, of a very powerful individual. And let's be clear, he's fucking rich. He's a fucking trillionaire. So nobody actually tells this guy no. Nobody actually talks him out of the shit that he says, or, it's just like when he's conversating, I'm going to say this one time, when he's communicating, it shows the level of awareness for his own self. Okay. So let's just start there, and you will know exactly who you're having a conversation with. Somebody who has no self-awareness. He's not going to have awareness for how you feel. Out the fucking door. That is like the biggest thing when I'm talking to people. I'm just like, whoa, like, okay, I'm not perfect. I have a lot of healing to do, but I definitely work on my self-awareness. It's a huge deal. And you can see, and you can hear it in the communication of a person. Andrew Tate, according to Daily Mail and a few other things that I've read, is not married. And according to having kids, he's said to not have kids. But when he's asked, he actually asks a question instead of answering it. So I'm just going to go with that he has kids. But he doesn't talk about them on podcasts. He said, would I talk about my kids on a podcast if I had kids? Like, don't ask a question with a question. It gets real fuzzy, sir. Real fuzzy, sir. And you're already fuzzy. Okay, so basically, kind of going on the inside of things here, the Observer investigation from theguardian.com reveals how the ex-kick spot, it just kind of reveals how he got, I guess, kind of banned, how he went global too. So Andrew Tate says women belong in the home and they can't drive and are the man's property. He also thinks rape victims, trigger warning, by the way, conversations about women, with hate on women, loathing women, trigger warning, rape. Here we go. Sorry. And anything else, I ain't your mama. Bear responsibility for their attacks, apparently. Okay. And women aged 18 to 19, he wants to date because then he can imprint on them. And according to a video he posted online, he literally says this shit. I know they're just words, but it's the combination, it's the energy behind and the intention. And I don't care. As far as his intention, I'm being told is that he's trying to aid men in escaping the matrix. And all that I'm seeing, because of this shit from the planet Neptune on his birth chart, all that I'm actually seeing is just kind of escapism. He escapes not just the matrix. He literally is teaching people how to escape feeling shit. Okay, that's just what I'm getting a sense of. I definitely feel like he's an escapism on all levels. He literally is delusional. He literally has all of this egotism. He thinks things that are not actually things that can be real. I mean, these are things that are happening, yes, but this is, you can't put, images and thinking and talking and all of these things that don't exist or we're trying to make not exist. You can't put them out there. It's just crazy. And the biggest thing for me is hiding himself. He hides himself. He's hiding himself underneath all of this, this it's like a mask, okay? And when there's public confusion and you're a part of it, you are the center of the public confusion. It's the public's not confused for no reason, okay? That's just there. You're hiding. He's definitely fucking hiding. I think this guy's very hurt. I do. Like, and I'm not even gonna say he's a douche or he's this or he's that. Like, I literally feel like he's hurt on so many levels, and I don't know why specifically yet. I have a feeling, and I'll get into that. So anyway, he poses with fast cars and guns, and he portrays himself as kind of a playboy, and he cigar smokes, and he talks about hitting and choking women, trashing their belongings and stopping them from going out. He did indicate that this is rough play and that there's consent from both of them. I just adding that in. It's a bang out of the machete, boom in her face, and grip her by the neck, shut up, beep. He says on a video, acting out how he would attack a woman if she accused him of cheating. In another, he describes throwing a woman's things out the window. In a third, he calls an ex-girlfriend who accused him of hitting her, an allegation he denied. He called her a dumb hoe. Okay, and the dumb hoe is a dumb hoe because she got online and she's like, oh, he didn't do anything to me. Yeah, because you got paid, dumb hoe. That's why. Smart hoe. Tate's views have been described as extreme misogyny by domestic abuse charities capable of basically allowing men and boys to commit harm offline and online. So they're trying to eradicate anybody of this. But the 35-year-old is not a fringe personality lurking in an obscure corner of the dark web. Instead, he's actually one of the most famous figures on fucking TikTok. And I got banned. I'm gonna show you why one of my cards got banned. I never did tarot after that on TikTok because I just thought it was absurd. I got banned because of this. Because they're naked. But Andrew Tate can go on live on TikTok and tell you to choke out your girlfriend. Okay. So anyway, the videos of him have been watched 11.6 billion times because I'm going to tell you this, the ego side, the hurt side of men, the wounded masculine, whatever, this is just intuitive. The only reason that these men are reaching out to this fucking guy is because it is some sort of pillar that they can, hold on to and make sense of their pain. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm feeling here. Styled as a self-help guru. Oh, jeez, who allowed that? Offering his mostly male fans a recipe for making money. Mostly male fans. Specifically, that's why. It would probably be the wounded masculine or the people who are just curious who the fuck this guy is. Pulling girls and escaping the matrix. Tate has gone in a matter of months from near obscurity to one of the most talked about people in the world. In July, there was more than a Google search of his name than Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian. That's big. It is. His rapid surge to fame was not by chance, though. Evidence obtained by The Observer shows that the followers of Tate are being told to flood his social media with videos of him choosing the most controversial clips in order to achieve maximum views and engagement. He definitely knows how to win in this aspect of negative. Bad. The bold, it's going to win. It does. This effort involved thousands of his private online Academy Hustlers University, a network of copycat accounts on TikTok, has been described by experts as a blatant attempt to manipulate the algorithm. Smart guy. Holy shit. And an attempt to manipulate the algorithm and artificially boost his content. He's so fucking smart. In less than 3 months, the strategy is following online and potentially made him billions of pounds, with 127,000 members now paying $39 a month to join the Hustlers University community, many of them men and boys from the UK and the US. Yet, despite much of the content appearing to break TikTok rules, which ban misogyny and copycat accounts, the platform appears to have done little to Tate's spread or ban on the accounts responsible. So instead, it has propelled him into even more of a mainstream, given why I'm talking about Andrew Tate as of right now, allowing clips of him to be proliferated, and actively promoting them to young users. So bottom effing line. Wow. He got banned. So he did get banned, which I actually was very surprised that they kind of went into the attack and did that. I literally was very surprised. But somebody speaking on Me Too movements is definitely not my cup of fucking tea. So he's going to have to be banned at some point. I mean, there's just too much involved here. There's just too many triggers, too many flag warnings, too many trigger warnings. Literally, this guy though. Okay, so I'm going to get into his reading. Let me timestamp this so that we know where we're at on things. Whoop, wrong one. Okay, 12 minutes. That's when the reading will start. At 12 minutes. God dang. Okay, so I did have to get fully into this because there's just so many people that have been some sort of like touched or messed with or like alerted or alarmed or triggered, whatever that might be. This is a big fat trigger warning. Okay, it's Andrew Tate reading. I'm not going to hold back. I'm not. I'm totally fully going to be right here with y'all. Okay, current energy. It's definitely some new beginnings, some sort of preparation for something, and luck comes most often to somebody who is prepared, and that is definitely what he is. He has trillions of dollars, so I'm assuming he has some assistance. As far as being nurtured, the communication, there is communication in his energy, the growth, the balance comes from this, especially the clarity and the timing of the communication is extremely crucial for him. So those are all kind of in that current energy right now. And for self-care, he definitely nurtures himself. I mean, he has trillions of dollars. This guy's energy, I mean, if he was like utilize this in a good way, like he could really make some sort of change to the collective. But I don't know. The only thing that he really currently in the energy trusts as far as like growing and moving himself and getting into some sort of place as far as being creative is definitely himself. Anything else, resurrection or reconsidering any recall or a person or on a project is definitely lacking here. So the stability and structure to recall on a specific project probably we all probably know what that means. Okay, let's get into this reading. I want to know, let's find out. Okay, I want to know. I want to know it all. So we're just going to get to know him. We're just going to find out all about it. Just kind of get into it, just like our other readings. I know I feel like I need some special book to do his reading. I literally was like, what do I do? This guy. And I don't even want my name, or my channel. I didn't want him on my channel's name. But you know what? He's a human, and I'm not here to be biased or judged. So I just that's where it's at. That's where it's fucking at. Like, who would be better to do this? Me or some other guy? So I was like, me. I'd like to thank me. Oh God, that's it. Yeah, I get it. Okay, well, King of Pentacles. That is for show. It is a little bit in a reverse show. By that, I mean it's in reverse. It is in reverse position, so I feel like he's definitely a little unstable. There's a lot of good decisions here. There's a lot of independency. I feel like as far as carefully talking things out. Again, that communication that was in his current energy, that is full on here. No matter what comes out this guy's mouth, it doesn't matter if he talks about shit all day, okay? Or talks about porridge or spinach. This guy literally could make gold with it, okay? Because he is careful when, he's really trying to change the ideas. He's trying to change the way that people view things or the thinking of things. This guy knows how to do it. He knows how to talk shit out. He does have he does have a weak side. We all fucking do. And I feel like as far as lacking, all of the things that really, really, really matter at the end of the day, he's lacking, okay? So there is an instability here. There is an instability, and that's confirming that current energy reading also. Just kind of the overall scheme of things is just he moves through as far as like changing and pushing on the gains or the financials. I feel like anything to do with money, he's going to be turning new leaves. He's going to be changing. He's going to be like, it's almost like he'll flip over whatever table he needs to. I mean, and choosing directions, these are all easy things for him to do. So money won't solve his problems. That's being indicated here, but that's just none the wiser here. Yeah, and this is a person you won't change. Okay, so whoever this individual is, this man, this Andrew Tate, he is not going to be changed. He is hiding from his real self. He is in line with the magicians. He is in line with spies. He is literally in line with a con artist. He's in line with all sorts like thievery energy. Like these are all things that are very high on Neptune. So I just feel like hiding self and causing any kind of public confusion is definitely going to put you in a place of that thinking, that list of people that I just said. Okay, as far as the biggest situation or any experience that he has upcoming or in this current moment, there is a lot of anxiety. So he is up a lot. He doesn't sleep a ton. The hopeless feeling, there is trauma. There's definitely trauma. And that makes it so that he doesn't ever feel fulfilled. Okay. He has to have some sort of root from his family. He does. He has to. The mental affliction of this is heavy. You can feel it, especially if you're talking so poorly about like one group of people, and that's women. I mean, if you're poorly talking about women, whether or not you believe you are, you're wrong. You're fucked up. You had something fucked up happen to you. You grew up in a home with crazy women, or you were abused by women, or you got your heart broke at a very young age and it just really affected you, whatever that fucking might be. Wherever this stuff is coming from, it's either coming from the fact that he knows it'll make him famous. He knows where the weakness is in the world. And right now, men don't know where they align sometimes. They don't. They fall off. They're like, where do I fit in here? These women are independent. They have babies by themselves. They work. Men are actually being wounded by women nowadays. Like it is a thing. Women are so independent that some of them will be, kind of like mean to them, if that makes sense, or they'll be, demasculate them in any way that they can, not on purpose, maybe, whatever it might be. I'm guilty of it. I'm sure everybody's guilty of that kind of thing. Just as much as being a woman, we are, completely utilized as non-human. I feel like sometimes it's just like a very difficult species to be at points in our life. But men, yes, there is a difficulty for men also. There is the burden that they carry, like all these wounds they are not allowed to feel. If they had an escape for real from the matrix that they're living in now, that would be great. But they're escaping feeling, using their kindness, using, the health within them, using their, really healthy masculine. This is not okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I just had to say that. Sorry. I went on a tangent. Why do I keep doing that? I'm like, I'm not talking about Andrew Tate. It's a very scary situation around this guy. This guy is, there's a lot of scary things going on. This is not okay. Anyway, so there is some hopelessness here, but this is definitely having to do with some sort of authority or abuse with authority. And it has a lot to do with that he is mentally clear. He is able to, get up and do these things during the day. He might actually have some vices though, because that is a part of the birth chart. He definitely, there's indications of some sort of substance abuse. He could just use traveling as kind of an escape from his feelings also. He also could be using almost like relationships or females. So anything that he can kind of escape his reality here, he does that. So it's like, who are you teaching? because you do all these. You're escaping constantly. You have guns, you fight, you're trying to look for that adrenaline high, the next adrenaline high. Like, you are the epitome of a wounded masculine, and I'm sorry you're hurting. Okay. So the likely outcome of the situation, the authority, the truth, kind of seeing the full picture, hopefully, eventually, that really brings him a lot of anxiety, is just kind of being hidden. I do feel like the likely outcome is that he's just too pushy. He's too focused on his limits. He's too focused on the fantasy, the illusion of it. This is a fucking adventure for him, bottom line. And he is definitely sure of keeping things from others. I mean, he's definitely sure of that. He wants to keep specific things from others. Anything new that he begins is going to be energetic. It's going to be pushed forward. It's going to be low in energy because it's not coming from good spiritual or good intention, or whatever you want to look at it in, however ways. I feel like the action oriented here is definitely some sort of reckless direction. I do. I feel like the action is reckless. I feel like it's impulsive. It's just very icky. What an asshole. Okay. What an asshole. What an asshole. He's an asshole. David Theory? What was that his name? Okay, let's get into what he's got going on as far as in the past that he's really trying to let go of. That's something he's trying to leave behind. So there was a rock bottom at some point, a recovery, kind of expecting things to be over as soon as, things kind of didn't get easy. So there was like an uneasy moment for him. He had an uneasy moment. He had a post split or a post breakup. He had a rock bottom. That is something that he had. It is not dealt with. It is not conversated about. It is not thought about. You don't have time to think about it, especially if you're on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And that doesn't mean female. It just means in all addiction, it is on to the fucking next. It's, kind of the hustler's university that he runs. He's teaching these people basically how to hustle every day for your next high. I mean, that's really all you're doing. That's it. And when I'm talking high, I'm talking, again, adrenaline, even just the chemicals of how you might feel. It's just like on to the next, where you don't give a fuck about anyone else. You have no self-awareness. You don't even know how you feel. You so much so don't know how you feel, Andrew Tate, that you actually sleep none. You stay up in the night. You are upset. You have a lot of anxiety. You're hopeless. There's a hopeless feeling. This is not going to change, though, okay? As far as in the past, though, the main situation is just fear of change, okay? And there was also just kind of like biggest thing, letting go of the fact that he couldn't travel. He couldn't move. There was some energy that he couldn't grasp in the past. And that is something that he definitely is leaving in the past. It's not something he addresses. And holding back, he doesn't hold back anymore either. No, of course he doesn't. No, he does not. And I feel like as far as being bored, overall, lack of planning, the fear of change, the fear of not being able to move. What do we do when we don't want to feel? We're moving. We move. We fucking move. We move. We're always busy. I'm busy, right? Well, that didn't end. That's just how it feels. And he's not going to bring this stuff. This is the poor boy shit. You know what I mean? I feel like the likely outcome of the situation is he is emotional bag. He's emotional dumpster. He's an emotional waste basket. He is full of fucking emotions. He's a diaper sack full of emotion. He cannot leave the past in the past. Okay. And that's very clear. Every time he talks poorly about women, you can very much see the past written all over his body, all over his face, all over his hands, all over his eyes. You can see it. He cares heavily how other people perceive him too. Whether or not it's in this way or that way, it's still very ego driven, but it's almost like he doesn't want you to see him like this. And he's very specific in how he wants you to see him. Okay. Especially when he's fighting. And I was looking at some video and pictures. He's very, I want to look like the fighter. Like he's very much he's in the costume. And he's going to make you believe it. Okay. Let's get into major trauma. Ooh, I figured that this was going to happen. Okay. Hello, Alfred. Isn't that like what that guy's name off of Batman? Alfred. Welcome. All right, these are his traumas. I gotta take a drink of water. I feel like I'm working out right now. It's weird. Okay, so the main source of the pain, the trauma, the wounds, he cannot accept the inevitable. He cannot accept the cycles of life. He would not be able to accept the fact that he's aging. He's not going to be able to accept that. So in turn, making other people feel poorly, of course, I mean, it's the perfect agenda. In turn, making, all of these wounded masculines turning on, the women that love them very much. Do women do they turn on? Yes, it goes both ways. I'm just coming from a woman's perspective, so don't jump down my throats here. Okay, I do feel like the balance or the trust or the peace or the harmony is fucking shifted in that. That's in Death Reverse. King of Wands, we got upright, Knight of Cups, and down. So as far as being a leader and seeing the full picture here, this has all to do with that. So kind of focusing and really making daring decisions. If he were to love heavily, he would. He has depth for that. He would have a deep, deep love. Okay. I do feel like taking a lead in the relationship is a huge, huge thing for him. But when he maneuvers through a relationship, instead of acting this way, the way that he says you should be a leader, you should be pulling the relationship, you should be the dominant one, you should definitely be, maybe a little temperamental, maybe you have some outbursts, maybe do a little choke here and there, and maybe punch her out the window. Okay, fine. But what do you actually do, girlfriend? Okay, what do you actually do? Likeliness of this trauma or whatever he rules or pulls from this trauma is he's depressed. He has sulkiness. He lacks any substance. He is temperful. He is full of fucking addiction. He is addicted to fucking everything. You give him something, he wants 20 of them. That's just a part of who he is, okay? Because of this trauma, because of these wounds, whatever these are. This could have been from a father figure. These wounds could have come from any kind of leader position, anybody taking a lead in his life when he didn't want them to, a woman just casually even like addressing him in a really, demasculating way, just a tiny bit just in the past, or maybe his mother or his sister, or whatever it might have been. It puts him into a place of lacking substance, of, feeling happy and joy, feeling any kind of, I don't know, emotional pool to like really know yourself or to really know other people. So I feel like he is unrealistic, especially when it comes to emotions, because he's fucking full of emotion. He doesn't want to fucking feel it. Okay? Bottom line, addicted. He's addicted. Okay, let's get our last couple cards. What is the likely outcome for Andrew Tate for the last part of this month into October? Excuse me, the beginning of September into October. We are at the end of the month, aren't we? Shit. I got all my generals, my love predictions done. Exactly, John Walker. I'm going to make a shirt and it's going to say, being a macho man on the front, you go to the back, does not mean disrespecting women. Bitch. That's right. Bitch. I said it in a minute. I said it and I meant it. If you don't like it, sit down outside, out of my room. Okay. For the next few here, there is definitely some sort of secret or some sort, like I said, I feel like there's some sort of truth underneath again. There's hidden feelings, hidden emotions. And when he's thinking about the situation, it could have been a relationship that he almost got married in or had a really traditional sense. Okay. I know that this guy says he doesn't believe in marriage, but why? Why? Because your parents didn't get divorced. Why don't you believe in marriage? Because he probably was fully committed with somebody. He probably thought about a wedding at one time, felt stupid for doing it because this person had a secret to reveal, or there was a secret that came out. There was definitely some hidden feelings here. And whether or not this was about him or for him or around him or for somebody else, these feelings or these hidden secrets affected the prolonging of things here. So upcoming, we definitely have, again, just kind of being fully committed to everything besides tradition or everything besides a person. So he's definitely going to be working. He's not going to be, tasking himself into any relationship at this point. So that is definitely off the table. As far as businesses, diligent, smart, just really energy focused as far as, finding balance and really adapting, because he's an adapter. He's flexible. He will do those things. He's a magician, this man. He can handle a lot, and he will handle a lot. He'll sit back and he'll watch you get pissed off, but he will not. So business wise, he's getting, all of his things back in order. Just kind of like how he had them. He has everything in order until he pisses somebody off and then he moves on. Get everything back in order, and then move on. Okay. All right. So business good, relationship not great. I wasn't kind of expecting that. Any overwhelmingness? Have it? Yes. Burnt out. Okay. So I think he has a child. 6 of Cups upright. I definitely feel like he has love for a child. That might have fueled that. It might have even pushed him into doing this. I'm not even going to lie. I just kind of felt that. I do feel like he's going to try and stop kind of the overthinking. He's going to address the childhood stuff eventually. This is just, kind of a hereafter. Who knows? I do feel like he does get let down. He has heavy expectations once again. And I feel as far as 5 of Swords in reverse, he definitely lacks when it comes to kind of being, focused on healing. So again, unfocused, scattered, burnt out. When he feels burnt out or when he gets to a point where he needs to have a rest moment, these are the things he will address. The child stuff, the love for a child, or going back into his memories. So he does try hard, but he's very let down when it comes to that kind of stuff. He's let down because it's just almost like unmanageable. All right, people, I hope that you enjoyed John Tate. Thank you, Alfred, for your hello. Thank you, John Walker, for my next t-shirt idea. I will get that put onto a t-shirt and get one sent out to you. I should definitely do that. I should take you guys' comments, because sometimes they blow me away. They make me laugh my ass off. Some of them are a little crazy, but I think it would be funny to be on a t-shirt. It would be a good time. And then we'll put Andrew Tate somewhere, like Andrew Tate's face, and then put being macho man. And then on the back, he'll say, doesn't mean disrespecting women. It's so fucking true. So thank you so much. Matthew Murdoch, 99% of people don't know about Andrew Tate. He is a fool. You know what? I'm going to have that put on a shirt too. I mean, this is a good time. We should just stay here and talk about t-shirts. Hello, Jelly Bean. Matthew Murdoch, thank you for your comment. I agree. He is wounded as fuck. I wouldn't even say he's a fool. I think he's very smart. I think he's very intelligent. He's focused. He's driven. These are all really rad things that come along with one of those egos that don't know. They don't know that they can fail. So it's like there is no other option. And they propel themselves into, all sorts of yummy shit. That's why you see a lot of really fucked up people in power, or that's what I kind of assume, or like a lot of people are like, why does a narcissistic person always get the job, or they're always in the lead position? Well, it's because they have grandiose thinking about themselves. They don't think that they suck. I mean, they are low of self-esteem. I mean, that's the idea, right? Behind it is that they do lack some sort of, sense of themselves, but their thinking, and that's what matters, right? Is the thinking propels them. Fuck them. Okay, gotta get out of here. Thank you so much, Matthew, Jelly Bean, John, Alfred. Thank you so much for your guys' comments. Really rad. I will get those t-shirts made up and put them out. I will be putting out some t-shirts or merch, so be looking forward to some of the shit like that, because that's the weird shit that I do. I always have said, from the time I can remember, we should be putting this on a t-shirt. And so there we go. Of course, good quality material that you can work out in. All right, I gotta get out of here. Share, like, and follow. Please go ahead and like this video, hit subscribe, and if you want 2 or more annoying notifications, please go ahead and click the bell. Of course, why wouldn't we? Thanks for watching. We have 2,223 subscribers because of you all. So thank you so much for the push, the drive that you're really pushing me to get these readings out, and I really very much enjoy this. So thank you so much for watching. The views are outstanding also, so please keep watching. Hit subscribe, payball, and enjoy the rest of this beautiful Wednesday. The day people stop giving importance to hate speech, people like Andrew Tate. Exactly, Seth Rogen. Are you really Seth Rogen? You know what? This is the stuff though. This is what it is. It is what it is. It's like, yeah, we could talk about what then? Because if we're not talking about hate, if we're not talking about truth, we're not talking about ego, we're not talking about honesty, truth, guys like Andrew Tate or guys like fucking Jesus, I mean, what are we going to be talking about? Tea and my toenails? Like, what are we going to be talking about? Okay. That's all I'm thinking. So I'm like, you know what? I'll bring up Andrew Tate. We'll talk about it. And we'll talk about how we can have compassion for Andrew Tate. And that's what I'm thinking. Coming from this standpoint, this man needs emotional healing. He needs spiritual connection. He needs the divine. He needs a sense of love. He needs that on the inside, though. That is an inside job. That is just something that nobody else can do but him. But what I am going to say is, again, like somebody called him a fool. Like, I don't think he's a fool. I don't. I think he's a part of our world for a reason. Okay. He's teaching us something. Okay. I do feel like he's wounded. He's in pain. I didn't say it, but I'm going to put it on the shirt. He needs a choke slam. Okay. Seth Rogen. Yeah, that is the best thing to. Yes. I'm making t-shirts today. I literally am going to do this because then you guys can get your quotes on the t-shirt. This is the greatest idea. You guys are just making me think of this really right now. But I will get the merch stuff up, but that won't take long. What's going to take long is these really rad things that these people are saying over here. And everybody has something to say. Everybody get their voice out. I mean, fuck, might as well put it on a shirt, right? Waste our time with these fucking keeping it on the comment list. All right, gotta get out of here. Lastly, Seth Rogen says that Andrew Tate needs a choke slamming. Enjoy your Wednesday. Goodbye.